Hey guys, morning. Mike here with RPQ. It's May 28th. Finishing up breakfast. It's a really nice day today. So, just a few thoughts about the market. I started looking at the daily on the Bitcoin USD, and we have a net line buy level, but it's not even being touched, and that's a negative. Unfortunately, it's a negative. We need to really push higher and overcome that net line buy level, because if we stay away from it, that's just further indication that we're probably going to slide lower. So at minimum, I would like to see an attempt to breach it, because that would show some interest, right, to drive price higher, and it's just not happening. We're just kind of lolling around on here in a sideways pattern, and it's dangerous. The more time we spend on here without any attempts to overcome overhead resistance, the more established we become down here, and that might lead to a slower slide, which can easily translate into a waterfall slide lower. And that's what we've seen in the past several times already, right, over the last few months. So that's definitely a negative. And that's pretty much all there is to be said about the crypto market right now. An attempt has to be made. We need to start overcoming overhead resistance. As long as that doesn't happen, there's a very good chance that we slide lower. And the possibility is at least 50% at this point. So, and it also ties into what I'm seeing on MVRV Z-score, right? We're not in the lower rungs yet, in the lower ranges. I'll edit in a chart when I put this together to show you guys. And we're just kind of hovering over those extreme levels that we saw at the tail end of previous market corrections. And it would probably be better technically if we went down there. The same on when I look at NUPL. It's in the red, clearly now, but it's still in a range where it probably would be better if we kind of wipe out a little bit more, and then we establish selling exhaustion, right? Per that, at least per those measures, because almost every large-scale correction in the past has been accompanied by a really deep spike lower. And that it's like a finale, right? When you have a bearish retracement, and if it drags out for months, you keep seeing this waterfall slide, right? You know, it slides, holds for a while, maybe works its way a little bit higher, then falls again, does the same thing, right? And this cascading effect, at some point it has to stop. When does it stop? Well, it stops when extremes have been reached, right? Certain extremes in sentiment and selling exhaustion, when the last hodlers have thrown in the towel. And we're getting close, but I think we need to get a little bit closer. And it all ends when we're actually starting to see buying interest again, right? Again, sentiment across the board is very negative. And of course, for us, being contrarians in some respect, right? Especially during market correction like this, we're always looking at signs of extremes. You know, you want to look for extremes on the top, and you want to look for extremes on the bottom. And I look across, and what I'm seeing right now going on, for instance, in a place like Reddit, you know, and Twitter and everything, the usual suspects. There's no good word for it in English. In German, we have a word called Galgenhumor. And Galgenhumor is a word for, you know, you're probably laughing if you're German right now. It's an expression of, you know, Germans always put two words together. A Galgen is when you're being hung, right, on a rope, you know. That's the Galgen, right? That's basically the contraption that they hang you on. And humor is obviously, humor is humor, right? So it's like, it's kind of a cynical style of humor, right? Black humor, I think, would probably be the best translation in English, right? And I see a lot, yeah, I think actually black humor is a direct translation of that. And I see a lot of that in the comment sections right now. So people have embraced the dark side, right? You know, the stages of embracing bad news, and at the end, you know, after depression, right, sets in, then you come to acceptance. And I think we're getting closer to the acceptance phase. People are making fun of it. People have taken their losses, and they're ready to, you know, whatever, you know. Yeah, I'm already 90% down or something, you know, in some of the altcoins. And so that's good to see these signs, right? And we're seeing more and more bearish sentiment. People are giving up. People throwing the towel. I see a lot of articles being posted on, why, I don't know, X coin is crap, while altcoins are all shit, right? Why Bitcoin doesn't make sense. All this kind of stuff you would have never seen 3 months ago, even 3 months ago when we were already in a correction, right? So again, I keep pointing these things out because technically, okay, meaningless, but I always look at that stuff because it does affect market forces and the animal spirits, so to say, of the markets, and they're quite subdued right now. So there's really not much of the hope is slowly dissipating. And again, that's exactly when usually market turns happen. That's when the bus is when the bus is emptiest, right? That's when it takes off. It's an old expression among traders, and it really holds true, and has been holding true over and over again. And I personally have observed it many times as well. So again, in the end, though, this is not something you can trade against, right? You need technicals, and that's what we do here, right, at RPQ. So what we're looking for is, of course, a buy signal, and one buy signal we need to see is, of course, a net line buy level breached, or things turning on the comments potentially, that them turning positive again, right? So far, we're not seeing any of that, and until that happens, we remain in a bearish outlook, and yeah, that's it. So of course, I keep you guys posted, as I always do. And if I see anything of interest, I'll point it out. Until then, we hunker down, we wait it out, and see what happens. Okay, that's all I got. Have a nice day. Cheers. What are you doing in here? It's over. Go home. Subscribe to the channel. I put the video. Go home.